the singing. When the twilight is gone, you come into my heart, and here in my heart you will stay while I pray.
Hello, I'm Marie, the host of Vinyl City Broadcasting, your transit express to rock and roll trivia. Our special guest today is Frank Pizarro, formerly of the Platters. Isn't that a beautiful portrait of the group, including Frank, Herb Reed, and the rest of the Platters? From saving lives as a New York City firefighter to helping save R&B and doo-wop music, Frank Pizarro, former lead singer of the Platters, tells his incredible story of service and dedication. Before we go over to our Zoom room, we want to give you a taste of this man's incredible golden pipes. Rico, play a little of Frank's singing Only You and Stardust.
Only you can make all this change in me, for it's true. You are my destiny. When you hold my hand, I'll understand the magic that you do. You're my dream come true, my one and only you.
Wow. Take a bow, Jay. Take a bow, Frankie. One more time.
And now the purple dusk of twilight time steals across the meadows of my heart. High up in the sky, the little stars climb, always reminding me that we're apart. You wandered down the lane and far, far away, leaving me a song that will not die. Love is now the stardust of yesterday, the music of the years gone by. Sometimes
Frank, to start off with, we know that you were one of the first responders at the World Trade Center 9/11 attack, and you go back every year to the memorial to pay your respects. We want to thank you and all your firefighter comrades that responded so quickly to that tragedy. We appreciate your service and dedication in saving lives.
Well, thank you so much. It's a pleasure to be here, and it's an honor to spend time with you.
Thank you, Frank. So now let's talk about your service and dedication in the field of music. So first question, why don't you tell us a little about yourself? How you got interested in singing the music a lot of us grew up with. Now, did singing come naturally to you? And do you pattern yourself after any of those early R&B singers?
Well, it all started right around 6 years old. I I'm the kid of a pastor, so of course, he was an opera singer, and mom sang in the choir for Billy Graham, and so I guess some of that stuck a little bit. And I grew up listening to show tunes and opera and stuff, so standards in the house,
Yes,
and classical music, and so that's where it kind of started for me, the love of music.
that's good. Well, you had a wide range and a good start, opera,
Oh yeah, oh yeah,
the American standards. Can't go
yeah, yeah,
wrong
yeah,
there.
yeah, absolutely.
Now, you mentioned you were a former lead singer of the Platters. Tell us how that came about, please.
Well, since I was 6 years old, my father worked in a warehouse, and he used to bring home these 8-track tapes,
Oh,
and one of those was a baby blue 8-track tape of the Platters. And so, like I said, from when I was 6 or 7 years old, I just was playing the music, playing the music. I played that 8-track tape until it broke, and I cried like a little baby. But that's what kind of brought me to loving that kind of music. Uh, Fast forward, during the time I was in the New York City Fire Department, I have found out that Herb Reed, one of the original members, still had a group.
oh,
And so I put a whole bunch of tracks on a CD, and I sent it to him. And about a month later, I get a call, and I'm at work, and he says, "Hello, is this Frankie?" I was like, "Yes. How can I help you?" Is this Frankie Pizarro? I'm like, "Yes, sir. How can I help you?" Because now I'm at work, and
right.
bells could go off at any time. He says, "This is Herb Reed from the Platters."
Oh,
Talk about meeting one of your idols that you listened to since you were a kid. I'm one of, at 6, 7 years old, who knows all those songs, even the obscure ones.
right.
And so he says, "I want you to come down and meet the group, and, you know, we can talk." I'm like, okay. So I flew out to Boston, and at the rec room up in his condo, I went up there, and he's introduced me to the group, and he has his keyboard player there, and he says, "What do you want to sing?" He says, "How about My Prayer?" And he says, "Okay, what key?" I'm like, "I want to do it in the original key." He says, "No way." But yeah, I want to do it in the original key. So he starts to play, and everybody's silent, and I sing it, and I end the song. And of course, nobody's going to say anything until the man shows his approval, right?
Oh.
So they're all sitting there nice and quiet, and he goes, "Wow, my man." He says, "You got some pipes," and everybody starts to applaud. And he says, "Man, oh." I said, "How would you like to sing for me?" And I was like, I was expecting to sing ooh ah and do the little moves.
Right.
And he says, "No, I want you to sing the hits for me." And to have him say that to me, and then we started touring. And the first day on stage, when we finally did get to perform, to look over to my right and see the original guy there,
Right.
and every time I finish the song, he come up, he says, "Wow, take a bow, Frankie." And I'm like, wow. So that's kind of how that that portion happened, and how I got linked up with the Platters.
Well, that's a wonderful story. Of course, we remember 8-track tapes, and to sing with Herb Reed, what a wonderful experience for
Oh,
you. And who doesn't love the Platters?
that's right. That stuff is timeless. And then I made friends with Sonny Turner out here, and so I was friends with him until he passed away a couple of years ago. So
Well, it was a wonderful time in your life.
Yeah. And I get to carry that. You know, I've been very blessed. I got to share a lot of stages with a lot of people in a lot of different countries. So
Yeah. In fact, we're going to talk about that more in my next question. So, besides the Platters, tell us about some of the other performers that you have shared the stage with over the years, such as Barbara Streisand, James Ingram, Tony Bennett, The Temptations, and the Four Tops. So, I must say, not bad company, Frank.
not bad company at all. So the Temps and the Tops, we toured Europe with them.
Oh,
So
wow.
the opening act was Frida Payne of Band of Gold fame, and then the Platters came on, and then the Temps and the Tops would swap out closing the show. So we toured. We did the O2 Arena in London. We did a stop in Scotland. It was fantastic. Then I toured, of course, South America, all of Asia.
Oh, wow.
So that was a good time. And then Barbara Streisand, the last concert she did at Madison Square Garden, I sang background for her. And the same with James Ingram and Tony Bennett. Tony Bennett, that was a great time too. Because I used to sing at all the baseball games. So I'd sang at the World Series, Giant Stadium, and for the Islanders and the Rangers and the Nets, and so that was part of my blessing. And so that's amongst other people, of course, all around the world, to humongous audiences in Spain, and it was just gorgeous.
So you have a rich history, all the traveling and performing
It,
with these wonderful singers, and so glad you were able to do that, Frank.
it's been a blessing, and I still get to on occasion. So
Very good. Now, we've seen you sing Stardust and My Prayer on the TJ Lubinsky's Doo-Wop Generation special. Outstanding singing.
thank you.
So, how did you get that gig?
I got a call. TJ called me personally, spent a couple hours on the phone with me, and he says, "I want you to be on my show." And so the rest is history. I went down to Asbury Park, and it was a great time because I got to see a lot of my old friends, a lot of colleagues that I shared stages with, Charlie Thomas and a bunch of others. And it was a great time. And, I was honored also because I was the only guy that got to do 3 songs by himself. Everybody, a lot of other people sang with other groups and stuff, and I came with my 3 background singers, and we got 3 songs, and we did 100 Pounds of Clay, we did Stardust, and we did My Prayer, all suggested by him. So
By TJ.
great time.
Well, so glad you could be on one of his shows. We love his shows. We never miss them. Now, Frank, do you have a favorite song or a crowd favorite that when you're asked to sing it, it brings a smile to your face?
Yeah, My Prayer is that song. My Prayer is that song. It's one of the top 3 for me. Smoke Gets in Your Eyes, My Prayer, and I was a big fan of a lot of the obscure stuff, the
Mhm.
obscure stuff. And Herb also was a fan of the more obscure stuff that usually didn't get played. But he was a connoisseur of that kind of music. So a lot of those songs came from the Ink Spots originally.
Oh, really? Okay.
If I Didn't Care and My Prayer, those were Ink Spot originals. So
Okay. Well, thanks for letting our audience know that. And I think as soon as we finish this interview, I'm gonna listen to My Prayer. I'll be
great
good.
tune, great tune.
Yes. Now, tell us something about yourself that's not on social media or in print that you'd like to share with our VCB audience today. It could be either a funny or a serious story.
Well, it's more like a motto, so to speak. I'm one of those people that I never performed because it was a paid gig. The difference for me is it was a passion. I've never done this because the nice, a check.
Mhm.
One of the best compliments I got, because what happens over the years, it has been a few decades now, you get the people pull on your jacket and they say, "Oh, you sound great, you remind us, blah, 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 you got a great voice." But one of the most powerful uh, accolades I got from somebody shocked me and kind of brought me back a couple notches was had this ladies group that came and she grabbed on my jacket and said, Frankie, can we talk to you? I'm like, sure. What's up, dear? She says, you know why we love you? And I was like, tell me why. And she said, because we believe you.
Oh,
And so that meant more to me than any of those other comments because they usually get repetitive and things, but
yeah.
it meant a lot because when I sing those songs, I won't sing a song that doesn't come from me, that I don't feel, what I'm singing, because there's the difference between performing and gigging. Gigging is when you're doing something because it comes with money, and performing has a passion, and you're doing it because you love to do it. And so that if I could give anything to anybody, I think people should lean more towards doing that, because the rest comes after, and for me, I've been blessed with all the gigs that I got, and most of them I didn't even pursue. I got called because I present a believable performance. And like I said, I don't do it because don't get me wrong, it's nice to get a check.
Sure.
But for me, it's not about that. The check is the bonus, but being able to be on stage and sharing stages and being able to give of your heart, that's what really is for me.
Wow, I see your motto there. Um, Singing from the heart for the love of the music, and that just keeps you going. Yes,
Yeah.
that's great, Frank. Well, keep doing what you're doing.
So all I know how to do.
So now tell us about the foundation that you're so passionately involved in right now, that's so dear to your heart. It's a nonprofit called the Firefighter Memorial Transport.
That's correct. So I did 22 years with the New York City Fire Department, and I survived the collapse of the towers at the World Trade Center. And I served not only on that day, but helping down there for about 5 or 6 months afterwards. And so when I retired, I traveled and I started this foundation, and it's called Firefighter Memorial Transport, and we cater to honoring the fallen heroes and their families and the community surrounding them. So basically what we do is we have special vehicles.
Yes.
In lieu of a hearse, we have a fire truck for firemen, we have a Humvee battle used for veterans, and we have a police vehicle for police. And we offer that service for something a little extra honor with pipes and drums and the whole thing, which most retired guys won't get, but we make sure that they do. We give scholarships to the kids of the fallen. We help out the families financially. We do for the community as well, coat drives, food drives, those kind of things. And so that's what we're doing.
You're doing a lot, both for the living and for those that have passed away.
That's right.
And then once again, from your heart.
The only way to do anything. That's the only way I'll do it, or else I won't do it at all.
Good for you. Now, is there anything else you'd like to share with our VCB audience before we close, such as any new projects you're working on, shows we need to know about, or updates on your foundation?
Well, I'm kind of mostly working on my foundation.
Mm-hmm.
In January, I'm back at Mohegan Sun in Connecticut with Bowser Show.
Oh, Bowser, yes.
He does an annual show. It's January 14th at 3:00. Get your tickets while you can. I'm also doing October. I'm doing the next Malt Shop Cruise.
Oh.
The Malt Shop Cruise will be on there with with the Beach Boys and the Rascals and the Four Tops.
Oh.
And a bunch of other groups there. That'll be great.
Yeah.
And then otherwise, I'm really, really focused on the charity. Mm-hmm. and growing that and being able to build this next September 11th. We're doing a full parade down Fremont Street, and that's going to be pretty exciting. And like I said, every opportunity I get, we're planning on a big fundraising concert with some celebrities you might know, but I won't give that away until we announce it. And that's really it. I'm really focused on giving back. I mean, I look back at my life and realize that everything I've done is to give back and to do for other people, and I'll keep doing it. And as far as the singing, I got some issues from 9/11, but I say I will continue to sing until I no longer can, and because that's where my passion is. And my thing is, once again, I say, if you don't do with heart and with passion, then don't bother. So that's where I am.
Appreciate that, Frank. Just keep singing as long as you can. We like that. um, Now, if people want to get in touch with your foundation, what do they need to do?
Well, they can call me one of three kind of ways. You can call me at 646-578-7273. That's 646-578-7273. Or they can go to my website, which is firefightermemorialtransport.org. That's firefightermemorialtransport.org. Or they can email me at frank@firefightermemorialtransport.org. They can give a donation there. They can make comments. They can look where our next events are happening. Help us come up with new ways to raise money for the families. And any kind of donations, that would be great.
We'll put all of this on our website, and after the interview, we'll get all that information.
I appreciate that.
Sure, Frank. And you are a good man, Frank Pizarro.
I appreciate it. I try.
We can see that. Rico and I wish you well in all of your endeavors. And we also hope to meet you personally in the future if we make it out to Las Vegas.
Definitely will happen.
Or San Diego, too.
San Diego or New York or Connecticut or maybe on a cruise.
You never know. Sounds good. Well, we really appreciate you giving us this interview. It's so enjoyable, so nice meeting you.
And I thank you for your time and for this opportunity to talk to you.
And keep doing what you're doing and doing it in your heart, where
I absolutely will. And you guys too.
Okay. We're back in our VCB studio. So let's review just a few highlights of the interview. First, receiving that phone call from Herb Reed of the Platters while at work and hoping the incoming call wasn't a fire or emergency. That phone call was instrumental in helping set Frank on his musical journey. And then at the audition, when Herb heard Frank sing My Prayer and uttered the words, "Wow, my man." Also, the most powerful accolade he ever received was from a member of a girl group who approached him at a show and said, "We love you because we believe you. You sing from the heart." Frank says, if you can't do it with passion, don't do it at all. Frank will be performing at Bowser's Doo-Wop Show at the Mohegan Sun Casino in Connecticut on January 14th, 2024. Also, if you like to cruise, remember the Malt Shop Memory Cruise from October 24th to November 3rd, 2024. Frank mentioned a special event, a parade, that will be happening on Fremont Street in Las Vegas on September 11th, 2024. The particulars will be coming, so stay in touch on social media. His foundation that is so dear to his heart. If you want to be a part of such a worthwhile cause, you can. We'll post all his foundation information, Firefighter Memorial Transport, on our last slide. Also, Frank will keep us abreast of any new music project that he's working on. So anyone in the entertainment industry that sees this interview and would like to get in touch with Frank for your next event, we'll post his contact information on our last slide. We hope that all of our subscribers and friends out there enjoyed this interview as much as we did. Bookmark our YouTube channel so you don't miss any of our future interviews and shows. Frank in the interview told us he sings from his heart, and it is quite obvious to all of us he does just that. We're going to let Frank close the show now with his favorite song, My Prayer, played in its entirety. It was performed on the PBS special Doo-Wop Generations. Also, I'd like to say after doing this interview, wow. Take a bow, Frank.
When the twilight is gone and no songbirds are singing, when the twilight is gone, you come into my heart, and here in my heart you will stay while I pray. My prayer is to linger with you at the end of the day, in a dream that's divine. Close to mine. Tonight, while our hearts are aglow, oh, tell me words that I'm longing to know. My prayer and the answer you give, may they still be the same for as long as we live, that you'll always be there at the